Trap Media USA. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. And I want to make a very direct, clear, appreciative shout out to the great Kyrie Irving. So yesterday we spoke about how important it was for people, for Kyrie, Nicki Minaj, anybody that's outspoken on any issue to control a narrative, especially when you have funded media, compromised mainstream media. Um, we know there's a bunch, millions and millions of dollars in promotion for what's going on. So there's only one narrative going to be pushed. There's only certain doctors that's going to be pushed. You're only going to get one perspective because there's money behind that one perspective. So the next steps for Kyrie Irving after speaking, of course, they're going to try to make it like, oh, what is he talking about? Oh, this and that. Oh, Kyrie doesn't know nothing. Shannon Sharp County saying, well, he's not in the lab. Now, here's your counter, Kyrie. We need that YouTube channel. We need that YouTube channel, or you can go shop with Spotify, or you can go on Joe Rogan's show, who isn't all the way on board. You see, they tried to tear him down, but he has a powerful voice worldwide, but specifically in a different community, and he's connected to other medical professionals who aren't all the way on board as well. And we've seen many of those people get deplatformed. The things that Kyrie is saying, it's not like he can't present a opposing side. It's not like there weren't settlements in, I think, Singapore because of myocarditis costing a teenager for a couple 100,000. It's not like um, the Israeli report of if you had caught it and you have the natural antibodies that it's just as strong as, if not stronger, than having the jab. So it's not like there aren't opposing scientific points of view and perspectives. Those points of view just aren't being heard, and those points of view aren't just being highlighted in the mainstream. So my advice to Kyrie Irving would be go on Joe Rogan. Go on Joe Rogan, have this conversation. It's going to make the conversation even bigger. After going on Joe Rogan, you launch your platform. The first video on your platform, you bring some of these doctors who the mainstream respects, have them on one side discussing their science and their research, and then you also bring other medical professionals on the other side. So you, because what we don't have in today's era is only just one side saying one thing, and nobody wants to put these people in a room to talk together. It's always emotional. Well, oh, I shouldn't talk to them because they don't believe what I believe in. Multiple things, whether that's from the presidency. We seen if anybody would just go have a discussion with the former president, it was just a bad thing. But you can't come to a common ground without having a discussion, or you can't come to a full understanding without putting both of these pieces together and letting the people decide what makes sense and what doesn't, or just putting the science side to side just to have a full understanding. So the first video on his platform should be him hosting a discussion between the opposing point of views, because there are other medical professionals that don't agree with the mainstream push of the science, and they have science back behind theirs too. They have years and years of experience as well. They just get deplatformed for whatever reason. So figure out what platform is best suited. I would say, because Spotify, you can try YouTube, but they're most likely going to deplatform you at some point. Um, Depending on how you move, that's why I would say go talk with Joe Rogan, because he understands how to maneuver in these fields. He already has a relationship with Spotify, and I think if you began hosting discussions like these, and this was the first video on your page on whatever platform, it would be a huge success. And now it's not like they can just say, oh, well, because they are essentially telling you, with the white people were telling a lot of basketball, oh, shut up and dribble. But now you can do it behind the guise of the jab. So You can be as disrespectful, you can be as whatever you want towards a black person, because now it's like, oh, it's not because they're black and this and that. It's the same plantation mentality. Oh, you ain't listening. Oh, you want to run away? You know, Harriet Tubman husband. Oh, you want to run away from the plant? Oh, you get back here, boy. I'm gonna let Matt. You know, it's that same type of mentality that's going on, and they want to publicly or maybe you got away and you came back, and they mad because they there. Or a lot of these people, they may have regrets, but because they already in and they got it, they're just so radical with their view, because it's Kyrie wasn't confrontational in his speech. All he said was he's not on. It's not like he's anti or pro or whatever, and he could be pro a bunch of other, because they tried to bring up a video with Ali because of the comparison with Ali pushing the polio and whatever were the jabs of that time. But you could be pro that and not pro this. I might like this juice, but don't like that juice. You know, so is one thing could be right for you, and one thing could not be right for you based on your perspective. The same thing you say that we say with the women, that they need to have their choice. It's their bodies, their choice. But now it's like all of that is thrown out the window. So the best thing I would say for this, for Kyrie, get these medical professionals on two different sides, put them in a room, and let's highlight these other voices that don't get to be heard, and not just heard them speaking solo. If that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. If it's just them speaking solo, because a lot of these people don't want to have logical discussions with people on the opposing side, and they're directed not to. But if you can make it happen, that would be your best move. Go on Rogan, get an understanding on how to maneuver through these platforms. Try to get you a situation with Spotify where you're hosting conversation like this today. This is the mainstream conversation, but it might be something different tomorrow. But you're just bringing in people that's given a better understanding on different subjects to a wider range of audiences, kind of like a mainstream side netter of choice. But that would be my advice for Kyrie Irving. Salute to Kyrie for standing strong. Again, from Kyrie, holla at your agent, ask him, get you to Philly. You still in the same area, and just move on with basketball, because it wouldn't be like you leaving Durant and Harden with nothing. They're still getting a very top tier player, and Ben Simmons. Philly will be getting a top tier player, and you bring that AI field back to Philly. Just like Philly up, man, and start the platform. Trap Media USA. We appreciate Kyrie Irving for having open ears, for just standing strong on whatever he believes. And if he switches it up tomorrow, we understand the pressure that gets put by these people. So I'm on.